Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you'll just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quarantine, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. Killing time, we got nowhere to be. You're sending messages I can't ignore. No contemplating, come here close to me. I'm bored at home, can't leave the house no more. But I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm losing my love. Yeah, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quarantine, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart. You, when I wake up, I feel empty, not beside you. My whole life been searching just to find you. This quarantine, it hasn't got the right to keep us apart.
Hey guys, I am uploading some of the videos now for you to watch, so hang on just 1 second. Let me get to... Okay. Okay, let me share the screen here. I'm going to be covering local cases this week that have gained national attention, and one of them is Christopher Palmiter's trial. He is accused of failure to notify of a missing child. He is the stepfather to Madelina, Cojocari, and let me close out of this right here. I'm going to play this right here. This is from the Today Show. Here we go.
Set to hear more evidence as the trial of Christopher Palmiter continues. He's charged with not reporting the disappearance of his stepdaughter, Madelina Cojocari, a year and a half ago. Our Destiny Richards standing by this morning. And Destiny, so who are we expected to hear from today?
Members of the Cornelious Police Department and the FBI are expected to take the witness stand at Christopher Palmiter's trial today. Last week, Assistant District Attorney Austin Butler laid out what we can expect to see that would reveal more about the defendant and his relationship with his stepdaughter.
Okay, I'm going to play what was the opening argument right after this.
The burden of proof is on the state, and the defense is firing back, calling into question Palmiter's legal responsibility to Madelina. Here's what ADA Butler said we can expect to learn when Cornelius police and the FBI take the stand.
Detective Nichols was wearing body-worn camera. You'll get to watch that. You'll hear about a 45, 50-minute conversation where the defendant explains his role in Madelina's life. She's going to walk you through the contents of the defendant's phone. You're going to see internet searches about truancy.
Palmiter's trial resumes this morning, and the judge says the case is expected to take the rest of the week and continue into next week as well. Live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse in Destiny Richards, WCNC Charlotte.
Destiny.
Okay, now I'm going to show you.
Ain't gonna touch it. You know what I'm saying?
This next one here.
Ain't gonna touch it.
Trying to get to my playlist here. I want to play.
Ain't gonna touch it. You know what I'm saying?
Heck. Hold on a minute. This is the wrong one. Close that out. Pull up my. Give me 2 seconds so I can show you the opening arguments that happened yesterday. This is the one I want to show you here. And this is Court TV. All right, let me get through this commercial here. And this is going to be opening statements, North Carolina versus Christopher Palmiter and the missing stepdaughter trial.
Days went by where he didn't know the location of Madelina Cojocari. 23 days went by from the last time that he saw his stepdaughter until detectives with the Cornelius Police Department confronted him about her whereabouts. 23 days. In a few moments, you're going to hear from Tina Rory. Miss Rory was Madelina's bus driver. Miss Rory is going to talk about how she knew Madelina as a person, about how Miss Rory's first name's Tina, and her name was Madelina, and she could never forget her name. How sometime during that fall, Madelina started riding the bus. How Madelina would say thank you at the end of every day, get off the bus a half block from her home on Victoria Bay Drive, and run home.
Okay, now Mr. Palmiter is claiming he does not know where she is. He's claiming that her light was on in her bedroom. He came in late from work and just assumed the child was there, but did not report her because he just assumed mom knew where she was. That is his story. That is what he is laying out here.
You'll hear Miss Rory explain after November the 21st, she hadn't seen Madelina on the bus. You'll see video from November the 21st when Madelina got off Miss Rory's bus the last time she saw her. This afternoon, you're also going to hear from Denise Lampton. Miss Lampton was Madelina's guidance counselor as a sixth grader at Bailey Middle School. Miss Lampton's job duties include monitoring attendance, making sure kids are on track academically, providing resources to students in need. Ms. Lampkin, in November of 2022, didn't really know that. Probably a good thing. On track academically, everything's fine. However, Madelina came across Ms. Lampkin's radar when she started getting notifications about a number of absences.
They started getting calls from the school saying, "Where's your daughter?" And so when the police and FBI come to the house and ask, "Hey man, where's your kid?" He goes, "I don't know. I guess she could be at a girlfriend's house, or maybe she got stolen. Yeah, that happens all the time." He had no answer.
Seeing that Madelina hadn't been in school since November the 21st, the Monday of Thanksgiving week, Ms. Lampkin started reaching out on November the 30th. On November the 30th, she called him. He didn't answer. But Ms. Lampkin will tell you how she left a voicemail. You'll hear that voicemail. At first, you'll hear Ms. Lampkin explain about how she was just reaching out to check and make sure the girl's all right. That she's not out sick, something more serious enough, that she stayed on track with her assignment. You'll hear 4 more voicemails from Ms. Lampkin. If you listen closely, you will hear the frustration grow in her voice from call to call.
He's saying that they were getting frustrated because the parents were so lackadaisy. And as you know, if you're following this case, Madelina and her mother are immigrants, and and so there was some language barrier. It sounded as though that he was the point of contact, Christopher Palmiter, and acted as such for the child's records and stuff from school. He was the point of contact, as this is what he's saying.
Initial check-in.
This is the prosecutor laying out opening statements from yesterday in North Carolina versus Christopher Palmiter missing stepdaughter trial.
So December the 13th saying, if you do not call me back, I'm coming to your house. You have minutes to return my call. Ms. Lampkin will explain about how she went to the house on Victoria Bay. His house, Madelina's house. She knocked on the door, nobody answered, she left a truancy packet. Ms. Lampkin will explain that she never received any word from him the entire time.
He never called the school back after all the messages and truancy package that was left. He never called them back at the school.
Emails, letters, calls, voicemails, no response. Finally, on December the 15th, Madelina's mother arrived at the school. Ms. Lampkin will tell you there's one problem. When she got there, Madelina was not there. Ms. Lampkin, already growing suspicious when that happened, she'll explain that she called the Cornelious Police Department. There's a school resource officer there at the school, and detectives came in.
Recordings just got better.
So he's saying mom expected to see her daughter at school. And when she got there, daughter wasn't there to be picked up. That's when they called authorities.
Maybe not today. Likely on Monday, you're going to hear from Detective Brad Nichols. Detective Nichols walked into a room around noon on Thursday, December 15th. While he was sitting there with the school resource officer. Detective Nichols, not really knowing what's up, you'll see him. He says, somebody just called me and kind of filled me out what's going on here. Where's your daughter? Where's your stepdaughter? His response? I don't know. When's the last time you saw your stepdad? I don't really remember.
So he's real lackadaisy about,
Detective Nichols' voice.
you know, just no
He
urgency
tries
at
to
all.
understand what is happening. Detective Nichols was wearing body-worn camera. You'll get to watch that. You'll hear about a 45, 50-minute conversation where the defendant explains his role in Madelina's life, where he explains, and if you listen closely, where he explains or offers 4 explanations of where Madelina could be.
This is when he says, "Oh, I guess you could be a
Over
friend."
the course of the past 3 weeks, over the past 23 days. If you listen closely, you'll hear the first explanation. She's at a friend's house. What's the friend saying? Oh, Elena or something like that. I think she went to a birthday party at her house.
So he's saying here, I don't know, I guess she went to a friend's house. I think it was a birthday party. Yeah, birthday party. And the cop says, "Fun. What's the kid's name? We'll go over there now." I don't know. I think it was a birthday party, something like that. Yeah.
You'll hear Detective Nichols say, that. You'll hear the defendant change. He'll say, well, I've seen in the news where kids sometimes get kidnapped. Maybe that's what happened. Third, you'll hear the defendant offer the explanation that, well, I expected her to be here at school whenever I arrived today. If you listen closely, you'll hear the 4th explanation, and that's that Madelina has been in a room for the past 23 days.
Okay. His final story is, oh, she's been in her room. Her light's been on the whole time. Now he's claiming she's not missing. She's been in her room all this time.
You let Detective Nichols know that he believed that because the light was on in her room. Ms. Lampkin and Detective Nichols testified. You'll see the defendant, although maybe a stepfather, that he was a person involved in Madeline's life. Ms. Lampkin will walk you through school documents that show that he's listed as her father, that he's the only person besides her mother that can pick her up from school. You'll see Detective Nichols will walk you.
He was listed as a point of contact at the school.
To the inside of that home on Victoria Bay Drive. You'll see Madelina's room. You'll see the defendant. If you look closely at some of the photos that Detective Nichols is going to show you, you'll see 3 bikes at the front door. The dad bike, the mom bike.
He says when they first walked up to the house, there were 3 bikes. Mom bike, dad bike, kid bike.
Little kid bike. Not only are you going to hear from these witnesses, you're going to hear from Laura Hall. She works for the FBI as a civilian employee. She goes through people's cell phones. She's an expert at pulling data off phones, computers, and whatnot. She's going to walk you through not that house, but she's going to walk you through the contents of the defendant's phone. You're going to see internet searches about truancy. You're going to hear those Miss Lampkin voice notes. You're going to hear voice notes from other people. You're going to see the call. More importantly, you're going to see text messages. She's going to walk you through a number of things in that phone that shows that the defendant has taken steps to make sure people didn't know that Madelina had disappeared.
So basically, this is a trial, not for discovery, but it is discovery, But because it's failure to report your child missing within a 24-hour period. So when you're getting ready to hear the defense, Christopher Palmiter's lawyer says, well, I haven't seen my kid in 24 hours. Does that mean I need to report that child missing? I've been at work. And so they're going to try to skate around where he was and why he didn't physically put his eyes on her.
As we talk about in jury selection, this trial is not about what happened tonight. You won't get that answer during this trial. At the conclusion of this trial, I'm going to have an opportunity to come back and get a closing argument. I'll talk about the law, talk about the facts. The defense attorney may have already talked to you, or he might be talking to you afterwards. And when all this is wrapped up, you're not going to have the answer of what happened now. But you'll have one answer. And that's that the defendant is guilty of failure to report the disappearance.
Sir, thank you.
And now we're going to hear from Christopher Palmiter's lawyer. This is opening statement yesterday. This is Court TV.
No offense, but if you still think stocks, real estate, or crypto are the best.
There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good afternoon. I've introduced myself a number of times, so I don't think I need to do that. First thing that comes to mind from the state's dissertation of evidence that I think that you're going to see is that you may not understand why we're having a trial. And that might be something like, okay, well, Madeline's not been reported missing, so what's the issue? Well, the reason you're thinking about it is because you don't know the story. You don't know what happened here. You don't know the full picture. And so we're going to get to that. I did want to acknowledge with you, and we talked about this in jury selection extensively, and as the state said, we're not going to be able to answer the ultimate question of where Madeline is, and that's not what we're doing. We're not going to be able to tell you that she's safe, if she's not. I don't know. And I don't think that anyone knows, and we hope that she's safe, we hope that she's not, we hope that she's recovered. But I just want to put that out there in the sense that this trial is about failure to report. And I feel that it's incumbent upon me to tell you that in defending a case of this nature, that you remember to separate the issues and not think that you don't have compassion for Madelina in this portion of what happened in this story, this issue of legal liability for the failure to report. Those are two separate things. And from the state's.
So he's about to say he hasn't put eyes on his child in 24 hours. Does that constitute, a missing child case? So they really try to skate over this.
Summary of the evidence here, coming back to, well, what is this about? It's 22 days. Madeline was not reported missing from her dad. What's all about? How is that possible? And why? Why is everything? Why is why we have trials? I think there may have been a member of the jury.
Y'all, I gotta say this. I hope I don't offend any of you, but right here, the defense pulls a Clinton. Well, what's the definition of why? Why is why? Just had to say that.
The question, or the comment that he brought up was exactly that why is the reason that we had a trial. And there's just a mechanical application of A and B without knowing what happened and why a person did something and what someone knew at the time that it happened. That's not justice. That's not fair. In this context of failure to report a missing child for 24 hours, just by way of example, I haven't seen my child in the last 24 hours. I've been working in my office. Does that mean that I would have to report her missing? Now that's a very different context than 23 days. But you got to know the story. You have to know the why before you can make an assumption. And that is what the state's done in this case. The state has made assumptions as to what Chris did. The state has made assumptions, numerous assumptions, about many things that we will get into. But right now, I'm asking you to keep an open mind, to remember the promises that you made, that you would hear all of the evidence before you made a decision, that you would give Mr. Palmiter a fair shake, that you would hear the evidence in the case, and that we would determine if the state has really met its burden in proving what the representative community now. So, thank you very much. Hopefully, we can try to get this case concluded as quickly as possible. I really appreciate the time and attention and paying attention to details. So, thank you so much.
23 days.
Okay, that's their side. That's opening statements for both. Let me show you some more clips that I've put together for you. Okay, let's see. Give me just 2 seconds.
Christopher, is Madelina still alive?
Who is Diana afraid of?
Where is Madelina?
45 minutes to get home for my curfew. Huh? Yeah, through those doors?
Where are you going from here, Christopher?
Did you sell her?
Anything that you can say to give, is there anything that you could say to give her grandmother some peace?
Her grandmother is claiming that you sold Madelina. What do you have to say about that? Where is Madelina?
Do you know where she is? Did you do what they say you did?
I'm going to play this again. I'm going to play this again because this is her side. Even though she's not speaking to the media, when questioned on the street, this is our way of knowing what her theory is. Because the reporter says that Madelina's mother and grandmother say you sold her. Did you sell her? So in another clip, you're going to see the grandmother cry out and answers. And, you know, they are from Moldova, and they are claiming once they get Madelina back, they are going back because Madelina's mother could face deportation after pleading guilty to failure to report a missing child within 24 hours. That gave her a felony charge. Being a felon without a green card, she does face deportation. And grandmother says they want to go back to their home country once Madelina is returned to them. So this tells me that Madelina's mother has not traded her off to family in Asheville, as everyone had suspected earlier on in the case. So I'm going to play this once more. This is a theory that is out there from the grandmother on the mother's side. Here we go.
Do you know where she is?
Why didn't you report she's missing?
Christopher, is Madelina still alive? Who is Diana afraid of? Where is Madelina?
45 minutes to get home for my curfew. Huh? Yeah, through those doors?
Where are you going from here, Christopher?
Did you sell her? Anything that you can say to give is there anything that you could say to give her grandmother some peace?
Her grandmother is claiming that you sold Madelina. What do you have to say about that? Where is Madelina?
Do you know where she is?
Did you do what they say you did?
Do you know where?
Okay. It is extremely heartbreaking. Absolutely. Just, some local cases that have made national attention that I had covered earlier on, and just trying to get clarification of, closure to some of these, right? So I've got a couple of more clips that I want to share with you guys. Hold on one second here. Give you the opening statements. I showed you that one. Trial resumes today. Okay, I want to show you the grandmother. I'm going to show you the grandmother real quick here. And her public plea. Hold on one second. Share the screen here. To me, it speaks volumes that he is still behind bars.
Christopher Palmiter and Madelina's mother, Diana Cojocari, both pleading not guilty to failing to report their daughter missing. Wake Up Shot's Destiny Richards has more from Madelina's grandmother.
My Madelina is alive, and I hope the FBI and detectives find my granddaughter, and together with Diana and Madelina, will leave this country.
Diana Cojocari's mother was in the courtroom as her daughter pleaded not guilty for failing to report her child missing to law enforcement. Christopher Palmiter, Madelina's stepfather, faces the same charge and also pleaded not guilty. Defense attorneys say he doesn't know where Madelina is and believes Diana gave her to someone. The judge has also lowered Palmiter's bond from $250,000 to $25,000. Diana Cojocari's mother was visibly emotional Thursday, showing support for her daughter and granddaughter. Madelina is still missing after she was last seen in late November last year. But while everyone continues to ask, where's Madelina? She believes Palmiter knows more than he's letting on.
That was Destiny Richards reporting. Now, when grandmother was asked if she had a message for Madelina, she said that she loves Madelina and Diana, her daughter, very much. Both Cojocari and Palmiter will face a trial, but a date has not been set yet.
That's a little backstory on the case. I'm going to show you a little bit more here. They actually met on a dating site and was featured on a television program in Moldova that is similar to 90 Day Fiancé. I'm not real sure why they're not talking about that, because that has a huge trafficking indication to me, that he sought out a woman overseas that had a child. But I'm going to show you a couple of more before the trial began. Here she is. I believe this is after she pleaded guilty. Hold on one second. Let me share the screen for you. This is just some back clips that I found on the story here.
Meanwhile, around the same time Palmiter was walking into court yesterday, his wife, Diana Cojocari, was walking out of the Mecklenburg County Jail. Queen City News reporter Sydney Heiberger is live in Uptown outside the courthouse this morning.
Sydney, Queen City News cameras, we were there the moments that Diana walked out of the jail. This was the first time in 17 months.
Hey,
all right, and as a reminder, this came a day after Diana changed her plea to guilty for failing to report her daughter missing. And after she did that, the judge ruled that she had already served the maximum sentence for that felony, which is why he ordered her release. Still, though, there is the strong possibility that Diana could be deported, and that is because now she is a felon and she with only a green card. She's not a U.S. citizen. Well, Diana didn't say much while walking out of the jailhouse with her attorneys yesterday afternoon, but she did respond to one reporter question. Take a listen.
Is Madelina safe right now?
Do you know where she is?
I hope so. You hope you know where she is? I hope she's safe. You hope she's safe?
Yeah, we will be in the courthouse this morning for jury selection for the trial of Christopher Palmiter, Madelina's stepfather. Jury selection is scheduled to begin at 9:30 a.m. Yesterday, a judge denied his attorney's motion to delay the trial. Reporting live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse, Sydney Heiberger, Queen City News.
Okay, so that's a little backstory on it. And today they're going to have the FBI on the stand. Maybe we'll get some answers, and hopefully I'll be able to come back on tomorrow and give you more answers on what's going on here. Let me go to my history. Is what I need to do and see if there was anything else that I missed. I want to pull this up real quick. Cojocari and Palmiter. Hold on one second here. I want to find y'all where they met on that dating site, because I think it's kind of important. And they're glossing
Hear more
over.
evidence as the trial of Christopher Palmiter continues. He's charged with not reporting the disappearance of his stepdaughter, Madelina Cojocari, a year and a half ago. Our Destiny Richards standing by this morning. And Destiny, so who are we expected to hear from today?
Members of the Cornelious Police Department and the FBI are expected to take the witness stand at Christopher Palmiter's trial today. Last week, Assistant District Attorney Austin Butler laid out what we can expect to see that would reveal more about the defendant and his relationship with his stepdaughter. The burden of proof is on the state, and the defense is firing back, calling into question Palmiter's legal responsibility to Madelina. Here's what ADA Butler said we can expect to learn when Cornelius Police and the FBI take the stand.
Detective Nichols was wearing body armor camera. You'll get to watch that. You'll hear about a 45, 50-minute conversation where the defendant explains his role in Madelina's life. She's going to walk you through the contents of the defendant's phone. You're going to see internet searches about truancy.
Palmiter's trial resumes this morning, and the judge says the case is expected to take the rest of the week and continue into next week as well. Live at the Mecklenburg County Courthouse in Destiny Richards, WCNC Charlotte.
Destiny, thank you. Also,
Okay, let's see if there's anything new before I head out. I've already shown you that. Shown you that. Let's see what this. Am I still sharing the screen? Am I still good?
Testimony has now started in the trial of Christopher Palmiter. Palmiter is the stepfather of missing Cornelius girl Madelina Cojocari, and he is charged with failing to report her disappearance.
And Madelina was last seen in November of 2022. Police, they say Palmiter and the girl's mother, Diana Cojocari, did not tell anyone she disappeared until weeks later. WCNC Charlotte's Jesse Pierre has been in the courtroom all day long and joins us now live to give us an update on what happened inside court. Jesse?
Well, after several days of jury selection, we now have a jury of 12 people, 1 woman and 11 men. The trial got underway at around 1:30 this afternoon, and attorneys on both sides laid out their cases.
From November the 22nd to December the 15th, 23 days went by where he didn't know the location of Madelina Cojocari.
And that is what the state's done in this case. The state has made assumptions as to what Chris knew. I've used myself a number of times, so I don't think.
Christopher Palmiter is facing a felony charge for failing to report his stepdaughter Madelina missing. In court today, the prosecution brought up 2 witnesses. The first one, a bus driver, Tina Rory, who picked up and dropped off Madelina from and to school and also saw her on November 21st. November 21st is the last time Madelina was publicly seen. Surveillance video from that school bus on that day was played during the trial. Rory got emotional when speaking about Madelina during that time. Madelina's guidance counselor Denise Lampkin also called to the stand. She spoke about several attempts to reach both Madelina's parents. She testified that calls and emails were sent to Palmiter and Diana Cojocari, Madelina's mother. Lampkin said in court that after so much missed time, she began to worry.
And I had become very concerned because I wasn't getting a call back and no indication as to whether she was sick or she had been taken to the doctor, if she was okay. I needed to hear from someone, and I heard nothing from either parent. And so I wanted to follow procedure and make the home visit.
Lampkin did eventually get in contact with Diana, who was told to show up with Madelina to school on December 15. Diana came, but without Madelina. Police were eventually called. Now, the defense tried to make their case by poking holes at Palmiter's legal guardianship or relationship to Madelina, noting that school enrollment forms were signed by Diana, despite Palmiter being listed as the emergency contact and as Madelina's father. A sick note also completed on a school web portal to excuse Madelina from school from November 28th to December 1st was noted to be also completed by Diana Cojocari on December 2nd. Now, during this trial, we are expected to hear from members of Cornelius Police as well as members of the FBI. Now, the trial reconvenes on Tuesday at 11 a.m. We will be here and we'll have your updates as soon as we get them. Live in Uptown, Jesse Pierre, WCNC Charlotte.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jesse. We will continue to follow the court proceedings as you heard Jesse talk about the Madelina Cojocari saga. It's been going up and down since the very beginning. You can catch yourself up on the case by scanning the QR code there on the screen. There we have an interactive timeline for you to look at. You can also find it on our website and our mobile app.
Okay. Thank you all so much for coming and joining me, and hopefully we'll have some more answers that I can cover in the morning. So I'm going to go see if I can catch some more info on this case for you. I'm going to, when I bring it back up tomorrow, I want to talk about their relationship and how they met. And maybe there's a tie, who knows. She absolutely knows, and something that they haven't brought up, early on before they were arrested, there was a couch cushion burned in their yard. And it was odd because they lived in a suburban cul-de-sac type area, and it was out of place, caught the attention of neighbors. Their property was somewhat small, and so it raised eyebrows, and it's a couch cushion. So it's definitely has got me curious to know what happened. So I'll be praying for her family, and thank you all for coming and showing interest in Madelina. She was a beautiful child, and I hope that she's found soon. Thank you all.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Life is harder than I like to think, but it's easy when you're by my side. No point in calling, you just have to see the fundamentals of our life tonight. Cause I've been looking at a photograph of you, and I've been thinking about all the ways you move. This isolation got me feeling like I'm